Hello, everyone, and Darren especially. So great to be back. Great to start painting. Not sure if the choice will be easy or hard. Yeah, so we are doing painting. It's actually not painting. It's a wood block print. I'll tell maybe a bit more about it later. But it's Japanese painter. His name is Hiroshi Yoshida. And so he painted around 20th century. So 1930, 40, those years. This here I have a black and white print, but here we can see the very like tender colors. So pinkish, bluish. So here I've summed up some paints. Not sure if we're going to use all of them, but definitely then we need something pinkish and of course different blues, but definitely we're going to need lots of white because we're going to need, to pale it. And I would suggest also like using brown because I like really adding brown when I want the color to be more calm. Yeah, so then it's not so bright. Like some details here are brighter here on at the bottom of the boats, but generally all this stuff is pale. So we're gonna try now. You will see how easy, not easy we're gonna do it. Cool. Let's just move it first somewhere. So as usually I use masking tape to kind of get a frame. Yeah, so here we just, and here also, as usually you can choose how big frame you want. Actually, maybe I like having it a bit wider. So just putting the wider one is experiment. So then it's also the question about paper quality and how we're gonna work. So we should try and have our paper a bit wet. But yeah, let's not run to the water yet. Let's take pencil first. Yeah. So let's sketch anyway our boats. So today it's not really about drawing, it's really about colors. So really easy the sketch. Also maybe a little trick, like when we're doing the horizontal line, if you're not sure if it's straight enough, you can always like measure. Yeah, you take, let's say, your pencil, and then here till the end of paper. Yeah, because the side of the paper is always straight. I mark with my finger and I move it. Yeah, and then I feel okay, like I have 1 millimeter down. So just take a little check. And you also, not only in the start, you can also bring this measurement also to the middle. Yeah? Like, so especially if maybe like the page is in horizontal, the line is longer. Okay, and then let's say we just do the boats. The small ones we definitely do just on top. And as usually the best way is kind of just first plan the size. Yeah, because still we see it's kind of lots of space we have till the horizontal line. We can analyze, okay, in general, the boats are taking like 2/3 of the width. So maybe like somewhere here would be the end of the boat, and the top definitely somewhere here. Yeah, but we can do maybe also one boat, I think. Let's do just one, because today it's really not about yeah, of course, if you want, you can do 2 boats. Well, I suggested one, and now I can't decide which one. Because yeah, if I choose just one, then it's kind of just two in the middle. Yeah, and it's like considered to be bad composition because then these emptinesses are the same, and that's why the second boat fits nicely. So maybe just something like this first boat that is closer to me, but I just move it a bit to the right. Yeah, so I'll like really lose movements. We're gonna also clean up our pencil drawing. Yeah, prior putting all the water. So maybe like this is my like sketch for the boat base. So kind of geometrical shape. So you feel also the front, the side, and the deck. Level. Yeah, and then we see I did different spaces between. Yeah, and then we can calculate all the sail parts. Yeah, and again, we feel the different spacing between the sails. Yeah, so these two are closer. And then, and now I feel my boat, I want to be a bit longer. So this painting, so we're doing it as a painting, but actually it was a wood block print. Yeah, and it was very popular technique, especially in Asia, so Japan, China, Korea. And how it works that to do one painting, you do like you carve wooden blocks, and then you put a paint on it, and then you press to the paper. Yeah, so of course then it allows you to produce more more paintings. Like so it's like printing. That's what also the name is, wood block printing. But what's also interesting that for each color you need your own wood block and the carving. Yeah, and so then you kind of sum up them in one final drawing. And I haven't tried it. I know Karen, she experimenting a lot with printing. So I'm looking forward to see her in the class and she can share. Okay, and then of course shadow. Yeah, we don't forget the shadow. So we have like a main shadow under the boat, and then there are like also 3 shadows of the sails, of 3 sails. Yeah, and then so let's say this would be my pencil sketch. Yeah, but as I mentioned, the pencil drawing today is not the priority. It's really about the colors. So the technique we will be trying today. So acrylics, we know that acrylics can be both like as oil paints, and they can be transparent. And so today we're going to be using their transparent qualities. So we're going to be doing the layering. And so let's check maybe here. Okay, this bit. Yes, definitely before we proceed, we lighten up. So I kind of, I still see where my line is, but it's definitely not, like the parts that are dark, let's say the sails of the boat, they're in shadow. So it's maybe not that crucial, because we will be putting some brown there. But I would say the horizontal line definitely, like sometimes it's even good even not to put the line. Sometimes the trick is we can put like here on the tape, where we have the tape, we can put here like the marks. So later they're gone. Like it's also when I do the sun, I just don't draw the circle with a pencil, because yeah, the light color of yellow, it's gonna affect it anyway. And when it just don't do this, it all looks much cleaner. Definitely clean all well from all the eraser leftovers. Cool. How's it going, Darren? Ready to start? Thumbs up.
Yep, I'm all ready.
Nice one. Okay. So as I suggested, let's try, let's go first with the sky that is pinky. And there will be also a little pinky on this middle frontal part. And we can make it wet. So I take my clean water, my clean brush, and just as when we work with watercolors, we painting wet on wet. So, and here the question of paper quality now comes important. The water can also behave as a little bit, it saves. So let's say I already a bit messed up, but like you can put just till the horizontal line in the water. Yeah. So because later when I put the paint, the wet part will serve as it will not let the paint go to the other side where it's dry. Yeah? But here in the middle, I can put a bit also. Yeah, so making paper wet helps us that paper flows easier. And then we don't have these borders. Yeah, and again, how to check where I have put water, where not. You just look, like you turn your head, look parallel to the paper, and then you see what's shiny, there is water. What's not shiny, there is no water. But also not too much, because I use like very simple paper. If I put too much, it's gonna go too curvy. And meanwhile, it's soaking, so we can try putting the first layer. So I'm taking pink, and so I have this pink. Let me try also another. So of course, we go from light to dark. And there is also like, I feel it's also a bit maybe peachy. Yeah, the colors are really very, very tender. So and I'm taking a big pile of white. And let's think. So maybe I'm gonna go first a little bit with this peachy, but again, I'm taking just a bit of it, and I'm placing lots of whiten it. Yeah. And again, and also having my brush and all the mix more watery also helps. Yeah, so today just everything is watery. Only when we're gonna be back to the like in the end details of the boat. And we just kind of with wide movements, we are placing our paint. And here I can feel. So the thing that I have put water prior to it helps me. So I don't get any of those brush strokes and borders. Really easy and really smooth. Yeah, if I do this on the dry paper, then I need to quickly jump with my brush to the water and correct it. Yeah? And now actually, just like even not washing my brush, I can take a bit of pinkish. And again, if I feel to, I add more white. Yeah. Because like to darken, we can always darken. But to get these pale colors, it's always good. It's like the job in the start while paper is white. Yeah, because then we use also the paper that is shine. So this is what I did. I used this peachy and the pinky, and these are two colors I have now here, very pale, but it's okay. And then I'm gonna let it dry, and we're gonna do this a little bit of purplish foggy things that also marks a bit our horizon line. Yeah, and we don't forget about this middle part on the sea. And again, still working with all this pale pink. And I can put it here right in the middle. Okay, if it feels too pale, I barely can see. We can put it here. Yeah, and this is also the thing, like feeling how much water. Let's say here I feel the water was a bit too much. So my brush and paint is a bit like in a floating mode. Yeah, but paper towel is something that can correct this situation. Nice. So here, I think actually this purplish effects is just about this bluish mixed with pink. So it's automatical. So we maybe not necessarily gonna need to take the purple color. We're gonna get it. Yeah. So try to work as pale as you can. And the next colors will be the blue ones. I'm gonna give here a bit some space. So again, the blue colors we have, like everyone can have different ones, like which should I take? Now, of course, just taking the lightest. If you have the celestial blue, perfect, because even this one needs to be mixed with white. Yeah, other ones also work. Just remember, tiny bit of blue, and the rest is white. Yeah. In this case, now we're gonna try just create a clean light blue color. So it's just light blue and also white, but we're not adding brown yet. The brown will be adding to this second part of painting, because the brown color calms down. Yeah, I use it also for blues, for greens, because when it feels too bright, the color, but I really want it to be like a calm one. And again, also when you mix on the palette, the color, usually on the paper, it always looks darker than it looks on the palette. So keep that in mind. And now I already go. Yeah, but still, of course, I'm trying that my colors are clean. Yeah. This is painting with pale colors is harder. I work a lot also with children, and I find that for them it's really hard to mix a pale color. So something probably with just the perception. So here I got the border. So I got two bluish sides. I think I can easily also go a bit more down where it bows. Yeah, and then I will need kind of bring them together, this bluish and pinkish. Yeah, so the connection is nice. Yeah, and here, of course, works good when you don't have much paint on your brush and it's pale, so you have more control of how much paint you're putting. Yeah, because when it's like too much and too bright, with one stroke, you're like, ooh, already too much. But well, actually, I go with this first light blue till the end, till the bottom, because anyway, it's gonna help later create all these sparkling effects of the sun. Yeah, and also, of course, I don't, it's okay, I go a bit on top of the sails. They're gonna be grayish, dark. So now with this, my barely visible light blue, it's not a problem. Yeah, so really, really, and what happens if like you didn't get this pale color? You kind of, you mixed, but you thought, okay, it's pale, but you put on the paper and it's like, no problem. You just clean your brush well and you go on top with clean white. Yeah, but watery white. So it means that your brush is wet. It even looks works better when it's all dry. So like maybe going straight away while it's still wet, gonna be a bit tricky because the paint is still moving. So if it looks too dark, just kind of have patience. And then just it's really gonna work putting white on top, but watery, and it's gonna bring the level down. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so this is the step. Let's let it rest a bit. And I'm gonna think what would be the next thing we can do. I think the next we try to create then the transition from light blue to this darker blue. And so it means, so either you use the same blue and you just use less white paint, or you can of course also go for another blue. I think I'm gonna try this another color, but still it's gonna be of course all pale. Yeah. But also not, I even would suggest go with the same blue you had now and just prepare less less pale, but still light enough. And again, believe me, on the palette it looks sometimes lighter. Like, so that's why it's also good to have like a separate piece of paper where you just try the brush, how it looks. Okay, so where it's gonna be, it's actually so if we take just the whole amount of our blue, visually we divide it to the half and just a bit more than the half. Yeah, so so kind of still all this light part is much bigger. And okay, and now I'm creating already this a bit darker blue. So here, what can work? I'm sure Darren, you should remember this dry brush technique. It's where kind of not too much water is on our brush. And then it gives us the effect of strokes that are always good when we paint or wood or also the surface of the sea. But it can be a bit hard to, let's say, to blend in with other. So I'm kind of jumping here a bit in between. I use this, so a little bit it gives me the strokes, but still my aim is to make nice transition to a bit darker. And again, if I want, I can go almost till the end. And so how else I can help for these two paints to blend? I wash my brush, it's clean, but it's wet. And just with clean and wet brush, I go where the borders are, and it helps me. Sometimes when the brush would be like too wet, what happens? You kind of remove the paint from your paper. It's normal. It happens like it happened to me just now here in this little corner. The solution is then you just don't go further. You stop. You let this part dry. If you're impatient, you can make it a bit more quicker with the paper towel. Yeah, and then you just, when it's dry, you go on top again. So we remember acrylics are always easier to correct once it's dry. So just jump and paint somewhere else and come back to the spot you want to improve just a few minutes later. Nice, I actually like how it's turning out. So maybe later we're gonna add a bit more bluish. I see now here in the painting it has like a bit more clear the straight lines of the sun. It's actually maybe because of exactly this technique of wooden block. But why not? We can try doing also. So, but you see, we all continue working with really watery. The brush is watery and like in layers. Okay. And I can like, so I got this middle pink line, but then I just go a little bit like crossing it with my bluish leftovers, or even just a bit bringing blue that on the sides to the middle. So it kind of crosses the, yeah, you can take a look Darren. So it's like the blue crosses it with this pinky part. And it just like with horizontal moves, like going in a bit. And then it's and a bit this water effect. Yay. All right, I say, shall I wait, Darren?
I think I'm pretty much.
Nice. I like it. And let's go. Then I'm going with the, I would say, third blue for the bottom part. We're gonna have also darker blues, but they're gonna be there for the shadows. But in this water transition, let's do just 3. And in this case, I can show you and we can experiment. So I have squeezed this blue color. Here it is as it is in from the tube. And it's kind of bright. Yeah, it's a little bit so I want it a bit calmer. We see there it's the calmer. So I take a bit of brown. Yeah, and I'm gonna be just adding brown to my bluish. And of course I go slowly. So I take a little sip of brown and I mix. Yeah, so the mix shouldn't turn brown. It should still stay bluish, but it just need to be more calm. Yeah? And you're gonna see it's gonna work like immediately. And of course, if you did like, oops, too much brown, you just quickly go wash your brush and just add a bit more blue again. Okay, I did the mix, but honestly, I don't like it. So I'm gonna take just another blue. I'm gonna take maybe this blue. So I'm changing to Prussian blue. And I'm gonna do the same. Oh. So having my blue here. This one is better. But again, it's too intense, too screamy. I want it to be less screamy. Perfect. Yeah, this one is nicer. Oh. Yeah, and adding brown. If we add black, it's a bit, we get a bit different effect. And the same, then I already start from the bottom. And again, I'm playing a little bit with that I have the brush strokes, but also I try to integrate the color. Yeah. Here already be careful because we have, so if you follow the straight line from the sun, here in the middle under the boat, we also have this whiteness. So you can go just either carefully, you can go around. You can definitely go where the shadows are, but then also leaving some emptinesses. But it's also, of course, like we're gonna go back and do some lines that show all this water game. Nice ones. Well, here I feel like it's a bit got messed up, but as I told you, like as much as we want to correct the things straight away that are not working, it's really, yeah, just give it time a bit to dry. And nice. Okay. I think I'm gonna switch to a bit smaller brush, so a bit also pointy. And it's gonna help me to do all those lines. Yeah, I have like small pointy and a bit wider pointy. I can play first a bit with the bigger one to create some like the shadowy parts a little bit bigger. Yeah, because anyway, like how we choose the brush, we choose just by the size, what's easier to paint. And I'm still impressed how you can create it with the wooden blocks, because in my imagination it's like you combine. So if for each color I need different wood block, how I create all these transitions, this is a big question to me. Here I've created a darker shadow under the boat. And now I'm also gonna go and just, so with my thin brush, just also try to do some mechanically to do the lines. So for thin lines, your brush definitely doesn't have to be dry. Some water then always works better. And what also I like to do, so I just put a straight line and then just with my finger, I like smash it a bit. And then it looks nice, and it looks more natural. It doesn't look as a line, but it becomes more yeah, and like this, even maybe I will even not need to correct the parts that turned out not so perfect, the color. Yeah, because I'm darkening now just with strokes. Yeah, so we definitely, where the boat is, we can go. Like I'm going already, like I think third time to make it darker. Yeah, and here, of course, this effect where it's the dark and the light works nice here in between, but also be careful but not too much. Like now I unite them a bit. I like how it's going. And then I can also go like the way back. So we were going from light blue, middle dark. And so now I was doing this darker watery strokes. Yeah, just I'm putting a stroke with the brush and going with my finger on top, smuggling. Yeah. And to remember, just some strokes longer, some strokes shorter. Change a bit also the unite some of them you did. And you feel a bit like too much to the distance between them. Yeah, and it's normal. This is how our brain likes to do. So unless you on purpose gonna say, no, I need them a bit different Then, yeah, and of course, right at the bottom, we make bigger those strokes. Yeah, it's closer to us. You see. Down. And so I was telling, then we just go kind of back in our palette, and we can take then the blue we have used previously, but already with not so much light, to create again the same watery strokes. And actually, like, they're not so much. We don't go till the horizontal line. We just go somewhere here. Okay, lighter. Yeah, remember, if you need, use a bit of brown to calm your blue. Yep, so like a little bit more or less like 1/3 of the whole bluish, we create the blue strokes, but then actually we will go and create white strokes, yeah, or very, very light yellowish. And this is how we're gonna get these shiny effects. All righty. And imagine like one can play with this and go back and forth and improve a lot, you know? Then it will be also the question about like how quickly the paper gets tired. You know, it's also like trying to avoid it because one can feel it, you know, as a viewer. So let's try doing, but also not overdoing. And then you can always go also uniting. If you say, okay, I got too much strokes, then I can go, yeah, with already like some watery leftovers on my palette and just unite them a bit. And so it doesn't look like a zebra. I think today's painting is the one I've painted most with my finger. Yeah, it's okay. Nice. Yeah, we can let it also rest a bit. I'm curious now. Oh, okay. Here are those little boats, just little lines. Yeah, we're doing them later. So maybe it would be good. So we let our bottom part rest a bit. And then we do the purplishy part on top. So we have our horizontal line a bit more noted, but very carefully, don't make it dirty. Yeah, so depends. If you're not sure, maybe leaving even these just clean colors is better. I will go for it. So I'm definitely cleaning well my brush. Then I'm taking clean pink and very clean blue. Yeah, so I'm creating a very clean purple color. Yeah, and then and I'm gonna try first going just with this. So I had pink and the lightest blue, and I got even already without white, I got kind of pale purple. Let's go with this. If it's not gonna be enough, although I think it should be enough, because if you add darker blue or you add also some other darker colors, it's all gonna look not so clean. And clean colors in the sky is really important. Then we get this feeling of air. And here again, feel free, use your finger, but check so it's clean after all your smuggling the sea. And definitely paper towel can work. Okay, edit. Let's. So only maybe for this exactly the line of horizon a little bit. I'm taking a bit darker purple, so I took a bit darker blue and get a bit more darker purple tone, and I can go do just this line. But also it's not really a line, like it's a line that moves up the tone. Well, I think now it already, like, your next steps, depending really about what you already have as a result. So you might want go and add a bit more, some darker, a bit maybe parts on this first part where the light blue is. I'm adding a bit more of these purplish strokes, light ones. And I even maybe go and add a bit more pinkish. So then at the top, I can make white ones, and then I see the effect. So I add a bit more pink, so then white works. If I add a bit strong, Nice. Okay, I'll let this also rest and dry. Yeah, remember also to do this. So before going with white strokes to create this sunshine effect, I'll go to the boat, because boat also might need two steps. Yeah, we can easily take just some sienna color, but so either you mix it with so the deck is very light. I take sienna, mix it with white. That's it. Color is ready. Yeah, because it's also then the effect of the light. Yeah, and we also want to keep it light and clean. And to the contrast, we're gonna get the. But incredible, now I look at the boat and it actually has so many details, so many little shadows. Like you had to carve it in the wooden block, all those things. Wow. Impressive, impressive. And then I take the same sienna color and I just add brown to it to have I'm adding brown. Maybe it's even not dark enough yet. Okay, I'm gonna do it first. Then I'm gonna so here it is, the feeling of how much water you need. Like my brush was a bit too wet for the boat, so it's hard to do the details, you know? Nothing, then again, the golden rule, you just wait till it dries, or you kind of dry it a bit with a paper towel, yeah, and then you come back. Nice. The color of sails. These ones I find very, wow, some kind of purplish grayish, I'd say, but very interesting, very beautiful color. Well, let's try to get it. So I have, let's try create the purple again. And then maybe what happens if I add brown? If not, then we will be adding black. So I added brown. Oh, it's actually nice. Yeah, because trying to avoid as less black as you can. And we can do the sails also in 2 levels. So first, so all I did now was pink, dark blue, and then I added brown. And this is the color I got. That I find is very close to the original one. But the sails they're also, so they're not like just one plain color. They have the like shades. And so we put one layer, we let it dry. Actually a very nice color. I should remember and use it. A bit more. Yeah, and again, remember if like the layer you put is it's not perfect because of the brush strokes, don't fight, just let it dry. And going on top with second layer is always easier. Just remember, just as it works with walls, when you paint walls in the apartment or the house. I'm adding the second layer of this to the sails because I want them to be more covered. It's the shadow part. We have the sun shining to our face as the viewer, and it means this part of the sail is all in the shadow. Nice. Okay, and again, remember to let things rest. I'm gonna go now back a bit with darker brown to the boat, to the side part. And here maybe already not all of it, maybe just, but still it should be dark enough, like the shadow on the water should be more or less united with the side part of the boat. Okay. Well, I actually like how it's turning out. Because I was a bit curious to see this kind of painting. Like from one thing, it looks a bit not complicated. It's just, water and clothes, but to create exactly this lightness effect, I think this is the. And here, of course, one can go, well, I would say almost eternally with like layering and improving some parts. Okay, so of course, what else is good? It's good to have a very tiny brush. Yeah? The one where you can do all those connections. And again, I will not take black. So I think I'll try to avoid black till the end. Again, taking blue and brown, but just maybe adding a bit more brown so it's a bit more dark. And we try to create all those details, yeah? So creating thin lines. Of course, tiny brush is kind of, you know, a thing good to have. But then also, when you mix the color, you should like kind of get your brush really into the mix. You mix around the brush, so the brush gets the paint all around. And still, it's a bit, it's not so dry, but also not too watery. So I use my paper towel and kind of take off a bit the liquid. And then it works more smoother for tiny. And another secret to do those details is we go more brave. It will more brave and more quick. I'm even trying to add some people there. And of course, there are always some stuff on the boat. Yeah, you can change. So first I mixed blue and brown and I did this, but now I feel even just with darker brown, it's good. There's some shadows on I can't believe, like, I'm looking now to all those shadows on the boat. They're so tiny. How you could blend them in the. Now I feel my sail is a bit too proportional. Well, let's see. Time is okay. We're painting 1 hour and almost 15 minutes. Well, I think we're going good. So as I started to play with my thin brush, I'm gonna go also play with those tiny boats. It's actually curious, they're just as a contour. So if you here I zoomed in, and you see definitely there are bigger and small ones. So there are really tiny ones. Just like very, very, like just a little square with some line at the bottom of the ones that are the most far away. The ones that are a bit closer than the sail is a bit bigger, but still like think about the whole size and they're like really tiny. So even this line I have created just now is too big. I'm gonna remove it. Nice. So thing that you need to do like really just like a detail and tiny, so make them smaller than you like would wish to, or of course as you can. Interesting, let's put them only to the one side of the painting. Let's think if I want also maybe due to the composition put to the other. Yeah. And for example, now also if you feel they got too dark, you can just make them a bit more like, you know, or even already my paper towel is wet enough and I can just with this wet take a bit off the, but of course be careful not to make it dirty. Nice. Well, what else? Well, I think my final step will be adding white and yellow. And then we can check where your painting is, Darren. And so definitely clean brush. Definitely clean white and a bit of yellow. Yellow. White, and again, more white than yellow. And then we can go and, yeah, because also this part is already should be like very dry, should be, oh, nice, it's working, cool. So on top of my pink, I'm adding what kind of thick strokes, yeah, so for it to work. And again, you can use your finger to kind of smudge a bit. And you can feel once you have a bit more water, it goes like a bit just like a thin layer. But if you have less water, then it lays a bit more thick. And with thick ones, Darren sending something nice. I'm excited to see. Give me a second. Here at the bottom as well. So here where the boats are, where we have shadows, here I also put some of these yellowish strokes, and it will give the shiny effect. And also maybe a bit also to the sides I can give. Well, something like this. Okay, I'm letting also rest the painting. I'm gonna take off my tape so it looks nice. And if I will want to add a bit touch-ups, they're gonna be just inside. So give me a second there, and we're gonna just right there. Nice. It's I have a feeling of calmer. So
I actually went for the two boat option. I actually started drawing it from the original one, so that's why I've got two boats.
Okay, two boats. Ooh, let's check. Nice. Let's analyze. Maybe a bit these two strokes, a bit kind of between these boats. Maybe just make them or like connect or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just their diagonality is a bit kind of. I understand it. Yeah, it's these two here. Yeah, the sails. And but it's also like it's of course depending on the brush. If you can make the sails a bit more pointy, so like in the upper corner, and even maybe it will be enough just with one stroke, just like tick, just going with the brush a bit up to this pointy corner, and then it will have a feeling that the sail is stretched. But I really like here the color you've managed. Yeah, it's also feel like it was like just maybe one stroke, but cool effect of light and the shadow of the boat, and how the shadow, the side of the boat connected with the this part is very like tasty. I would call it like very.
I like that. I like that.
And yeah, let's check the general. Also, good job on making it all very calm and pale. And then we have this effect and feeling, the accents at the bottom. I could also see like your paper also were getting a bit curvy.
Yeah, it's water. Yeah, so yeah.
But it's all experience. I mean, we try, but great for such a great break in painting. I was
gonna say for the first time in a year picking up brushes, I'm happy with that.
Totally, it's definitely maybe like a riding bicycle.
Yeah.
Once you learn it, you kind of know how to do it. Good job, Darren. You can add a signature as well if you like doing it. Yeah, why not? Oh, cool! Thanks for joining. It was
Oh, thank you for running it.
Yeah, fun, and also to get the bones.
Yeah.
But
That's great.
Muscles moved. Awesome. I hope we see you next week. Feel free to share your pictures also if you want to do some particular painting.
Will do. Yep. Great stuff. Well, thank you, Evie, and hopefully see you next week.
Yeah. Bye-bye, Darren. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Darren left. I'm gonna just finish a bit more, maybe some just touch-ups. So I'm completely happy with mine. And, but generally looking good. I like it. Maybe also like the Darren head connecting the boat shadow more with the side of the boat. Nice. Okay, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.